You might be thinking that pirate movies were a dime a dozen in the 20th century, swashbucklers as they say, but that isn't necessarily true. This isn't that alternative 80s from Watchmen. Pirate flicks are plausibly more costly productions than the average western, achieved via one town set, some horses, and the possibility of travelling to Arizona for some wider shots. In the 20s, you had the 24 Peter Pan feature, and 26's rather stirring The Black Pirate. In the 30s, you had a Victor Fleming directed Treasure Island adaptation, the Michael Curtiz directed Errol Flynn starring Captain Blood, and Cecil B. DeMille's Frederick March epic The Buccaneer. At the start of the 40s, you had the Curtiz Flynn classic The Seahawk, but naturally, the remainder of the decade had the world's industries focusing on other more pressing priorities. So then in the 50s, the last decade wherein such films could be made in their traditionally recognized form, completely uncritically, without a self-protective, terrified irony to assure the cynical audiences of their contempt for optimism, convicted works such as Byron Haskin's Treasure Island and Long John Silver, Jacques Turner's Anne of the Indies, Raoul Walsh's Captain Horatio Hornblower and Blackbeard the Pirate, Ralph Murphy's Captain Pirate, Robert Siodmak's The Crimson Pirate, the Disney Peter Pan feature, and Felix E. Feist's Pirates of Tripoli saw their releases. 1962's The Pirates of Blood River from Hammer is one of a smaller handful of pirate flicks released in the 60s, all from the earlier part of that decade, and maybe the better of them. A listing that would include another Hammer film, 1964's The Devil Ship Pirates, 4 films from 1960, The Boy and the Pirates, Morgan the Pirate, Kidnapped, and a Japanese film whose title translates to The Pirates, and some Italian attempts at swashbucklers, including a few directed by Umberto Lenzi, most notably 1964's The Pirates of Malaysia. Watching it on your TV, Pirates of Blood River is good stuff, lots of fun, colourful, dynamic, performances and positively memorable. It feels good that Hammer delivered at least one solid pirate flick we'd all be wishing that they had in an alternative timeline wherein they hadn't.